Hi everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook process video and thank you for joining me again today. I am showing you this sketch that I'm going to use by sketch maps or page maps, sorry. And I'm going to tell you I started out with that sketch. Sorry, that would be my Amazon package arriving. I will mention in the next video what shows up. You will see there will be a change. So anyways, first things first, before I go any further, I still have a cold, so please forgive me if my voice sounds a little funny. I am working on it, so I'm going to do my best to get through this because I want to get these videos up this week. I took that sketch and I was inspired by it, and I was going to follow the sketch rather closely, but once I started getting into the layout, I kind of went off in my own direction quite a bit, and a little bit has to do with the photos and the title, which you will see here in just a moment. But a lot of it, I don't know, I just kind of went in my own direction. So don't feel like you have to use a sketch exactly the way that they have it, because it's there for inspiration. Even if there's only one little star cluster embellishment on that sketch that catches your eye and you use that, that's all that matters, is that you get inspiration from it. So anyways, I'm going to use, again, no white cardstock background, yay me. I used this kind of grayish polka dot background, and it's so subtle that it's almost like a white background, so I was very excited to get that used up. Again, no white background, so that made me really happy. What I am taking inspiration from was they had two photos and then kind of like either a title or journaling block underneath the larger photo. And you can see here that these are more Disney photos, and this is Gippetto. I was so excited. We've been to Disney a few times, never seen Gippetto anywhere. So we finally I was so excited. I'm like, okay, we got to get a picture with him. Never had that before. So on the sketch, they had the pictures and whatever journaling block, everything, and behind it was like a pattern paper or a piece of paper. That's where I got the idea for this one, and then from here I go off pretty much on my own. I wanted more color than just the striped pattern paper that's there. And so I, sorry if you can hear my phone. I'm going to try to put it over where you can't hear it. Hang on. A little drink of coffee so my voice can keep continuing going here. So I had that striped pattern paper, and then I just had that yellow scrap from the last layout I did. And I decided I wanted to mount the photos. Well, I was originally going to mount them all on red, but then I thought, before I glued the second one down, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to do them maybe different colors, kind of something different, because usually I mount them all in like one or two different colors. So I thought, hey, I'm going to try it on a few different ones. So I just kind of grabbed this scrap. It was sitting there on the top. I wasn't too sure about it because it is kind of it's not a solid, it's more this, pattern. But I went with it anyway. I thought, I'm just going to do it, going to try it, see how it turns out. And I like it. I think it brings the black. So now I have red and black, so I wanted a different color, and this is Gippetto's signature. So I'm trying to decide if I want to take and not buy or make anything fancy, but just like make some cardstock pattern or pieces of paper together to get more signatures the next time we go to Disney. I can't decide. Let me know what you think. If it's worth it for the title or if I should do my own, I don't know. Let me know what you think below. But I decided to go ahead and mount it on a different color, and I didn't want to use yellow because currently I have that yellow strip behind this stripe pattern strip. But then I decided I didn't like how thin that yellow piece was. So I just trimmed this one down, and you can see I didn't even measure it. I was hoping that it would be bigger than the striped pattern paper, but I wasn't worried about it. And then when I started to tuck it behind, I liked having it peek out from behind the striped one just a little bit here on the right hand side. And so I'm going to glue the yellow one down, and then I'm going to glue this striped one down. Now the only sad thing is I didn't realize until I was already into making this layout that the other side of that striped pattern paper was that really pretty pattern paper that I liked, but I don't save paper, so it's used. What I'm doing now, which I used to do all the time and I haven't done very often lately, is splattering. I love the look of ink splatters. They just kind of fill it up. It's like another texture. It's another way to bring your eye around the page. It's just, I love the way it looks. So I decided before I even glued anything down, I would go ahead and add some black splatters around. Now the color that I use that I love the most is, it's called Skyscraper, and it's by Mr. Huey's, which is a Studio Calico one. It was an exclusive to a kit of theirs years and years and years ago. So I don't think that you can purchase that one. So any kind of dark gray or black color would probably be just as fine. Not long after they released that, I went around and I found, I think, 3 other bottles that somebody was selling that they didn't want. So I bought them all. So I keep one in my crop bag because literally it's my favorite. I'm going to be sad when it's gone, because it is. I've never found a color that's just as, it's not a black. It's like a kind of a darkish gray, but it's just a pretty color because it goes with so many things. So, but anyways, so that is what I splattered with. And I had my papers. I glued down my photos and everything. I thought about doing them crooked, but then I changed my mind. I just didn't want to. Looking at it a few minutes ago in the camera, it looked okay, but yeah, I decided to just go with straight. And then there was this border strip that had the red polka dots, and I thought that that would really bring the red down quite a bit. So I went ahead and I put it on there, and then I'm using Lisa Brooks' trick again of just kind of gently cutting through the top layer that you want to take off with your X-Acto knife, and if you don't push too hard, you won't get through the second layer. Although with this thin paper, I almost did, because that gray polka dot is one of the really thin, flimsy ones that I had. And then when I peeled up the sticker, the part that I wanted to take off, it did rip just a little bit because that is such a flimsy paper. So I just added a few more splatters, and you can't even really tell. So I did notice on that background, the more flimsy paper, it soaked right up, which I love. And then on the more nicer pattern paper, the yellow and the stripes and all that, it didn't soak up very, like it wasn't soaking up. So I did just blot it very gently with a paper towel. But here you guys might be surprised. Yay me, I actually used some banners. Yay, I was so excited to get those used, and I really like how they look there. So I added a few banners because I kind of pretty much knew I was going to maybe do a cluster in the left-hand area. So yeah, I was pretty happy to get those used up. You might notice that I took a couple of the, what do you call that, like file tab stickers, and instead of just adding one up here to this cluster, I put 2, and I kind of put them at an angle just so, well, number 1, so I could get both of them used up, and number 2, just something different. So a few different things on this layout. Now I'm pulling back out my little Disney embellishment book. I tried to pull it in a little further here for you guys so you can kind of see. Those are the pocket pages with just, those are sequins from Close to My Heart that came in a Disney-like collection. So I put those in there. Just anything kind of more Disney-ish. These are just random stickers that you can find, Joann's and all that. And I do have some things in here that are paper. Oh, I'm not going to be able to remember the name right now, but I went back to the Echo Park stickers knowing that they worked so well. The colors all went really well with the last layout. So I tried this large camera, and I have to say I liked it, but I didn't like it. It's so big that it really kind of, I don't know, but it's going to stay there, and I kind of like it. And it kind of threw me off. Like I said, it's such a big element, but I was so happy to use it, and I think it just really, I think because of the colors, if it had been bright, busy, more crazy colors, it might not have worked as well. But and then the other thing, I didn't want to leave the circle part of the camera just plain, so I added that giant blue button there. And again, not something that I find, I can't use big buttons very well at all. Like, I think I've gotten rid of a lot of those. Sorry, another quick drink of coffee so my voice doesn't go too crazy on you. But I'm going to leave that button there, and you'll see in the end what I do to it. Again, I'm sorry there are no still shot photos at the end, but like I said, I was just trying to get this layout done, and I'm trying to get this voiceover up, and then this week hopefully I can do some more layouts and get a little bit more on track for you guys. So I'm gluing down. I found these balloons also in all the stickers from the Echo Park, and I'm going to pop it up with some foam tape. And I'm going to glue it down so that the strings of the balloons kind of go along the right-hand side of that word that says Big Smiles, and then onto the title Gippetto, which is just going to be my title, by the way. I didn't figure any reason for adding anything else. And I do think maybe I will get more autographs because I love the way that looks. It just is something, it's different than letter stickers. It's their autograph. It's who they are. So maybe I will. I might just cut up some. That's what I did with these, actually. Either that or I bought like a, not anything Disney. It was just some book, maybe even from the dollar store, or I don't know, but it just had plain white cardstock type paper in it, and we took a Sharpie, and some of these might have been actually my kids' books, but they said they didn't care if I used it now. When they were younger, I wouldn't have taken those books apart, but yeah. So maybe I will get their autographs next time we go. We'll see. I'll let you know. So here's where I'm gluing down the camera, and maybe this is the layout that I add the 2 buttons. Okay, so I am going to add buttons. I think the last layout was the black buttons. This, again, I'm trying to use up some of these things, and I don't hardly ever use buttons on layouts anymore. But I cut out the process of me adding, again, that crochet twine in between the buttons, and just gives it a little something more. I am not going to add any of the crochet twine into that big button on the camera. You will see what I do with that one, and I'm just trimming the twine down a little bit. I didn't want it to be too long. I love how the clusters are coming together on this layout. Those little Mickey head buttons, again, I've had those for years, so it's another thing I'm getting used up. Creating keepsakes doesn't come to my area anymore, so they come kind of close to me, but to me, it's not worth it to drive up there anymore. Yeah, and you have to pay for a hotel. It's just not the same as it was, because where they used to come here, we had a huge group of people, huge group, like 3 large tables, sometimes 4, maybe 5 large tables the last time we were there. And it was great because we all got together, but going up to where it is now, it's just not the same. So I added an embellishment by Queen & Company. You can kind of see those little star things. I don't know what they're called, but I added that into the middle of the button on the camera to kind of make it look like the Flash a little bit or something. So I really like the way that turned out. And I tried adding a few other things around, but what I'm going to end up doing after I turn the camera off is just adding some more little circles with the black Nuvo drops. So, well, they started out little, but then I smeared one a little bit, and so then I had to make them bigger. But that is pretty much going to be my layout. Again, I'm sorry there's no still shot photos, but this is the layout, and I love it, and I thank you guys very much for joining me, and I hope you guys like it. I will see you next time, and let's hope the next time I do a layout, my voice doesn't sound so crazy. All right, bye. See you next time.